So, now let's try to talk about the verse we were going to talk about last night. And when we had a power outage right in the middle of preaching. I'm going to watch out what I talk about today, so probably or hopefully won't happen again. This is from Nectar of Instruction, the Upadeshamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami. Text 1. Vāco-vegaṁ manasaḥ krodha-vegaṁ jihvā-vegam udaropastha-vegam etān vegānyo viṣaheta dhīraḥ sarvām apīmāṁ pṛthivīṁ śiṣyāt. Translation. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. So this is the definition of bona fide guru. I mean, this similar definition is given in many places in the scripture, but here it's very nice and concise. A sober person, dhīraḥ. A dhīraḥ means someone who is aware of reality and who does not get caught up in the sentimental ups and downs of material existence. Just like one day it's summer, then a few days later it's winter. Nobody can stop this progression of the seasons. Similarly, no one can stop the progression of material enjoyment and suffering. In the material world, enjoyment is always followed by suffering. Consequently, suffering is also followed by enjoyment. So we don't have to worry in the material world if something that we want isn't happening right now. Just wait a little bit. It'll happen. And also something that we don't want, but that's also going to happen. It's inevitable. The material world goes round and round in a circle game, to quote the song. And the same things happen again and again and again. Like right now we're headed into a phase called pralaya, which means devastation. There's going to be a lot of devastation all over the world, in different areas, because we're at the junction of two phases of time. Two chakras of the Kali Yuga. The last 5,000 years we've been going through the Kali chakra. That's why things have been so nasty. And the next 10,000 to 20,000 years is going to be the Satya chakra. Everything's going to be very nice. But in the meantime, in the junction between the two, there's going to be some devastation. This is always there in the material world. When the time changes, then the old ways have to be destroyed so that new ways can come in. So a sober person is not bewildered by this. Krishna says in Bhagavad-gītā, a sober person who is not bewildered by the constant change of material qualities. One day we're up, next day we're down. This is going on. It happens to everyone. It's not just you. No one's exempt. The material world means constant changes, and those changes bring suffering. Just like the changes from conception to gestation to birth to growth to production of byproducts to dwindling and death. Those 7 stages of material existence. Each one brings certain sufferings with it. And no one can avoid these. They happen to everybody. Equal opportunity suffering. And also there's certain enjoyments there. But those enjoyments are of an inferior quality because they're all temporary. The next phase of suffering is just around the corner. So try to understand. The people who like to tell stories about how wonderful the material world is are just focusing on a very narrow phase, which is enjoyment of creation of byproducts, the mode of passion. And then after that comes dwindling, old age, disease, death. These things are going on. But in Western society, you see, they try to hide all this. So they become adhira, not sober, intoxicated on this different kind of material enjoyment. And they go on trying to make believe this material world is a very nice place. It's like a pep talk, you know? Come on, team, this material world is great. Let's go out and enjoy it. They have to pep themselves up because they're always getting tackled by the material world, material modes of nature. So the devotees don't take these things very seriously. The devotees are situated in the transcendental platform, so they're above the material modes, above the material miseries. They're not affected by them. They may go on, it may happen in the body, but the devotee is detached. This is dhīraḥ, sober-minded, steady-minded, never changes, always alert on the transcendental platform. This is real consciousness. This is real mind. The mind of the spirit. The view of the spirit soul is from the platform of consciousness, because the spirit is the source of consciousness. Try to understand. So when we are situated on the platform of consciousness, then we can be sober. Because nothing in this material world can affect our consciousness unless we let it. And if our consciousness is fixed on itself, on the transcendental level, then nothing in this material world can shake it. And this is called samadhi. Samadhi. Fixed trance. Then, after that, if he can tolerate the urge to speak, see, the urge to speak, everybody wants to blabber on about whatever is on their minds. Just go to the marketplace, go down to the mall, and listen to people talk. Just chattering away about all kinds of nonsense. Or turn on the TV. Well, no, don't turn on the TV. But if you happen to turn it on, you will hear the same thing. And this is called gramya katha. Gramya katha means the pastimes of the village. The talk of the village, the chatter, the gossip, the nonsense talk of the village. Oh, so-and-so got married, and whatchamacallit got laid off of his job, and then they broke up, and blah, 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 blah. And what value is this? It's simply waste of time. Don't waste your time like this. Control the tongue means always speak of Krishna or topics related to Krishna. Don't speak nonsense. For example, if you have a job, if you're a wage slave, a slave of a corporate entity, a fictitious entity. Well, what do? Oh, I worship Pepsi-Cola Corporation. Because worship means service. And if you have a job, you have to do service. Your boss comes and says, I want this done by 3 o'clock. Yes, sir. Oh, okay, sure, fine. Inside you're going, no, I can't possibly have it done by 3 o'clock. So the whole thing is a lie. The whole thing is false. You're just pretending to serve them. You don't really love them. You don't have any respect for them. They're awful. They're horrible people. They're greedy rascals. Huh? But you serve them just to get money so you can have your sense gratification. That's because you're lazy and foolish. If you were intelligent, you'd have your own business. If you were hardworking, you would be so valuable that you wouldn't need a job. If you knew how to create value, then you don't need a job. You just go around and create value and people will give you stuff for it. That's what we do. We create the highest value because we teach transcendental knowledge. Well, you can do that too. But it takes some training. That training takes some time. You already wasted 16 years of your life going to nonsense material school. Or more. Maybe 20, 25 years if you get advanced degree. What to do?